So this week's cheese plate of the week is called Farewell to Spring. As June comes around the corner, we thought it would be nice to show some of the cheeses that have done really well, that are light and flaky perhaps cheeses that just pair really well with all the fresh fruits and vegetables that are now going to come. So we start with a beautiful soft ripened cheese called Lauro. This comes from northern Italy. This is soft and gooey and unctuous in texture, a little bit flaky in the middle. You would think it'd be very mild, but it's not. It packs a lot of flavor, and a big factor in that is because it's 3 milks. So you have goat, sheep, and cow's milk, which imparts this wonderful buttery, nutty flavor without being too strong. It also is just absolutely superb with the fresh pears and apples that are now coming. It is a true treat if you can enjoy one of these. They're absolutely wonderful from northern Italy. Next on the cheese plate is Queso Leanora. This comes from Spain. This is a light, flaky goat's milk cheese done in the same kind of loaf style as perhaps the other Montenegro, another famous Spanish cheese. However, this one's light and flaky, a little bit of goat tang. It's not overly strong, so people who may not perhaps love goat's cheese will really enjoy this. However, it does have a wonderful flavor to it and even some subtle nutty tones to it, as well as it was really reflective of the spring and the fresh air and the fresh grasses that we're seeing here. This would have been made from the early spring milk of the goats, which is a great way to get some of that flavor profile back into it. Next is Manchego, is a very, very popular, very, very well-known sheep's milk cheese from Spain. It can vary from very mild to very dry and almost spicy in flavor. We carry 4 here at Zabar's. And when asked, this is my favorite. This is an artisanally produced Manchego. It is raw milk, aged for 12 months. It is produced by a single man who takes care of his sheep and then makes this wonderful Manchego that is still creamy in texture and yet sharp. That sheepiness comes through, yet not overpowering. Again, a little bit of nuttiness to it. The texture is like a little bit of dry sandpaper at first, and then it just melts away in your mouth to make this cheese. If you're gonna have a Manchego, this is the one you definitely wanna go with. Our last cheese on our plate today is the Roque Bleu. It is a relatively new blue cheese to France. You can see that it's got an ash-like covering on the outside. As this cheese ripens, it does impart some strength, but it never becomes as strong or as spicy perhaps or salty as some of the other blues. So this might be a nice blue for people who are not huge blue cheese lovers or are wishing for something creamier. This cheese also is great for the spring and summer because it also melts. So it's gonna make a great sandwich, or it's gonna melt beautifully over vegetables or something like that. So it's perfect for using the leftovers later or however you wish. The rind is edible. If you like it, eat it. If you don't, then perhaps cut around it. But again, beautiful texture, soft creaminess, not a boring blue cheese, not overly creamy, and yet not too strong either. A very nice, well-balanced starter blue perhaps for those who are not as big of fans. So with the 4 of these cheeses here, we've really gone and started to say these are great cheeses that we've enjoyed in the spring and are going to continue to enjoy throughout the summer that perhaps melt really well as well.